The greatest threat to thinking today is not misinformation. It is fragmentation. Most people assume distraction is a problem of discipline or time management. They believe that if they were more focused, more organized, or more motivated, the problem would disappear. But distraction is not primarily about attention. It is about continuity of thought. And when continuity breaks often enough, deep thinking quietly disappears. We live in a world designed for interruption. Not because anyone wants you to think poorly, but because modern systems are optimized for speed, response, and engagement. They reward reaction. Deep thinking, however, requires something very different. It requires time without interruption. And more importantly, time without mental reset. Most tools we use today are excellent at helping us act quickly. They help us respond faster, access information instantly, move between tasks effortlessly. But thinking does not work like that. Thinking is not a series of isolated moments. It is a process that builds slowly, layer by layer. And every interruption forces that process to restart. This is why many people feel mentally exhausted even when they haven't done much that feels difficult. They are not tired from effort. They are tired from restarting their thinking over and over again. It's important to make a distinction here. Focus is not the same as deep thinking. You can be focused and still think shallowly. You can concentrate on a task, answer messages, follow instructions, and complete work, all while never engaging in deep thinking. Deep thinking is different. It involves maintaining a mental model long enough for it to evolve. That evolution cannot happen if the model keeps collapsing. Every time you switch context, your mind does something expensive. It reconstructs what you were doing, why it mattered, what assumptions were in play. Most of this reconstruction happens unconsciously, and the cost is invisible. But over time, it accumulates. This is why people often say, "I feel busy, but I'm not making progress. I keep thinking about the same problems. I understand things temporarily, then they fade." The problem is not intelligence. The problem is interrupted thinking. Deep thinkers, whether they realize it or not, protect something very specific. They protect the conditions that allow thought to continue. Not productivity, not output, not speed. Continuity. This is where most advice goes wrong. You'll hear suggestions about waking up earlier, blocking apps, strict routines, extreme discipline. Some of these can help, but they miss the core issue. Deep thinking does not require rigid control. It requires intentional protection. To make this practical, let's introduce a simple framework. Not rules, not habits, protections. There are three things deep thinkers protect. First, protect entry. How thinking begins matters. Most people begin thinking in a fragmented state. They open a task while notifications are active, messages are half-read, attention is already divided. This is not a neutral starting point. It determines how shallow the thinking will be. Protecting entry means creating a clean start. Not a perfect environment, just a deliberate one. Before engaging a problem, pause briefly and ask, what am I thinking about right now? What is the single problem I want to hold in mind? This moment is small, but it sets the tone for everything that follows. Second, protect continuity. This is the most important protection, and the most fragile. Continuity is the ability to stay with a thought long enough for it to develop. This does not mean working non-stop. It means avoiding premature interruption. Every time you interrupt deep thinking, you don't resume where you left off. You restart. Protecting continuity means reducing avoidable resets. That could look like batching shallow tasks, delaying responses, staying with an unfinished thought a little longer. Not forever, just long enough. Third, protect closure. Many people never complete thinking. They stop once something feels good enough. But unfinished thinking lingers. It consumes mental energy in the background. Closure doesn't always mean a final answer. It means integration. Asking, what did I understand? What changed? What decision follows from this? Closure allows the mind to rest. Without it, clarity never settles. Now let's address AI carefully. AI is not the enemy of deep thinking, but it can easily interrupt it. If AI is introduced too early, it replaces incubation. It fills the silence where thinking would have matured. Used well, AI supports thinking. Used poorly, it fragments it. The rule is simple. AI should extend thinking, not interrupt it. Use it after entry is clear. Use it after continuity exists. Use it to test, not to replace. This is why some people feel sharper using AI, while others feel mentally scattered. The difference is not the tool. It is the structure surrounding it. What makes deep thinking rare today is not that it's difficult. It's that it's unprotected. Most environments quietly erode it, which makes those who protect it increasingly valuable. Clear Thinking Lab exists for this reason. Not to help you think faster, but to help you think without losing depth. In a world built for reaction, depth becomes a choice, and that choice compounds. As you move forward, notice this. When your thinking feels shallow, ask not, "What should I do differently?" Ask, "What part of thinking am I failing to protect?" Entry, continuity, or closure. That question alone restores clarity. In the next video, we'll explore how to build learning systems that last, systems that survive distraction, motivation cycles, and information overload. Until then, protect your thinking. Not aggressively, not perfectly, just intentionally. That's enough.